I'm ready.
So I want to jump back to the daughter because I feel like there's like and the idea that the doe, right? This is a doe, so she's like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? She's just going through the world, but she's usually behind the scenes. She's not usually in the spotlight. She's not. She's quiet and shy, but she's really knows. She's street smart. She knows how to fucking get through the day. We'll say that. She's trying to be responsible, but she doesn't handle details well or logistics. We're always late. We're always just a little bit short or a little bit over. It's okay. People depend on you. A lot of people depend on you.
A lot of people do depend on me.
You have a ton of inner strength and you have since a very young age, just like that baby deer. You don't even know how strong you are. But remember to look back at the mountains you've already climbed, Amy, because if you're up on this next challenge, it's a mountain. Everything in tarot, that's a mountain. In the cards and any on the artwork, it reminds us of the struggles we've already faced and how strong we are, so that when we're climbing today's struggle, we're not looking down and going, I can't fucking do this. We're looking back and going, oh my God, this is easy. Fuck
Right.
that shit. We've already conquered worse things in our lives than we have to conquer going forward. And
I'm
I believe
strong. I
that.
got this. It's usually what
Yeah,
I say.
trust yourself. Um, this is the daughter of Pentacles, so she thrives when she's in nature.
I thrive in
I
nature big
know,
time.
I know you do. Only in the summer and the fall, though. You don't like the mud and you don't like the cold. It says
I
that.
hate the cold.
Right. And the spring is probably colder than the fall here. Days are gorgeous, but the nights are freezing in the fall.
I like the mud, but it's got to be of my choosing. Like if I go
Well,
play in the mud on the four
yeah,
wheeler,
well,
you
the
know.
child, the daughter, is always going to go play.
Oh well, cool.
And she's looking at the northern lights and shooting stars, and she's literally just like, wow. But she's
Yeah,
standing alone. You see her?
yeah.
She's standing alone. The Four of Pentacles, which is your next card. This is my we had mind, body, soul. So the body's in nature, being a child, trying to fucking talk to the stars and seeing some crazy light, but she knows she shouldn't be up there, but she's looking like she's gonna try to jump. 'Cause that crowd looks pretty cool. Then you have the Four of Pentacles, okay? This suggests that you're gonna get your feet under you. You're gonna be a little more stable. There's good news on the surface of this card, but there's also something coming underneath. There's a warning. Um, do not become possessive or controlling. Do not grab onto the reins and white knuckle, because that fucker will take you down. That horse you're riding on into this end of the problem. Because remember, you're the page. The page rides the horse with the knight. But in this deck, she's the baby deer. It's really neat. I love this deck. Um, so if you hold on white knuckle, anything in the material world will leave you as hard as a rock, rigid, just stagnant. Remember, we talked about the water
Hmm.
flowing, stagnant? And you'll just start to discuss yourself and others. But the wealth for you is a concept. You're going to get wealth of ideas or a flood of new endeavors that are going to be fruitful for you, but you have to choose wisely because they all seem the same. And this is the card of possession and control. So your fear is being controlled.
Right.
Your fear are the ties that bind you. Because we build a fence out of every sword that we can have when we're in danger, right? We
Build
fucking put
walls.
swords up like a wall.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly right. But what happens is we get stuck behind that wall, and just as it was there to protect us, it will slice us to bits on our way out. So
Definitely.
you gotta fucking stay. It's I call it the maladaptive wall of China, because you fucking put out a fence, keeps your dog in. Well, then
Right.
there's barbed wire on the top of the fence. Well, then you're too old to climb over that barbed wire, and that same fence that protected you is now the thing that makes you stuck in the house fire. You will not walk away. You keep going back. Don't go
Kind of
back.
like a hoarder gets stuck in their house when it
Yeah,
catches fire.
yeah. The horde makes them feel alive.
Right.
It makes them feel safe. Exactly right, like a hoarder. And then when they take it away, they're terrified. They can't even get around their house. But the next day, it lights on fire and they die in the fire because the same fence that protected them is that board, so it made them
Right.
feel safe. But then trapped them in the house. That's a great analogy. Thank you for saying that. That's awesome. So from the ordinary tarot, the Four of Pentacles advises you to let go of control to some extent and be sensible about managing your assets. Don't be spending stupid money, Amy. In its core, the card says find balance between sharing, giving, and saving. There's a difference between sharing and giving. When you give, you're giving someone to use it without you.
Right.
Grocery money, whatever. When you're sharing, you're welcoming somebody into your house of comfort. Totally different experience. Keep the ones you're giving to out of the house. Let the ones you're sharing with come into your home. Because otherwise you just get energy vampired and you're fucked.
Right.
The situation manifests because you're not paying attention to everything. You are doing the best you can. You're spinning plates like the girl in the circus. But you're missing something and it could really cause a big problem. If you are spending too little or too much, or spending just a little too much, this card suggests rein it in.
Okay.
Hoarding, which is what you just said, could be associated with this card. This is also card number 4. Your number was 1111, which is 222 in my world, and also
4
44.
numbers. Yeah.
4 numbers. Right. Thank you. You're like ahead of most people. Usually I have to like write it down for them. And that's fine. But the hoarding thing, this is a connection. I don't know if you noticed it. I didn't write this fucking book.
I know.
And I didn't say hoarding. You brought that out. That's to confirm to you that we're connected.
Right.
We're here. Oh, I just got goosebumps. When it comes up in your reading, it could be asking you to make a small sacrifice. Are you saving up for something? Vacation or a new home? Isn't this fucked up?
Right.
We never know what's just around the corner, and this card suggests that tightening your proverbial belt, your metaphorical fucking cincher, is beneficial in the long run because there's unexpected costs that come up, and you always have to panic over those because you're not ready. You're here today.
Right.
And that's fine. Live your life. Tarot doesn't predict future. It just says where your energy's at and what the probable outcome is if you stay on the same path. The cool part about tarot is this is scaffolding and we can change it anywhere. You know what I mean? What's the matter?
Oh, I just saw someone that is working on scaffolds.
Yeah, right. It's going to keep connecting. And I don't know why I said scaffolding because I never say that. I usually say it's the cornerstones that built you.
Right.
But today it's scaffolding because that's what you needed to hear. Now, you told me you were talking to me when you said, and now I'm telling you I'm talking to you because I said scaffolding. You said hoarding. Both in the book.
Right.
Crazy. Traditionally, this card is nicknamed the Miser. It depicts someone who's trying to be so frugal and not cut corners, but get shit done before. It's like buttoning up the barn before the winter comes, right? You know you got to get shit done now.
Right.
You might feel
That's kind of what's happening with my trailer because he's moving one and putting another one there.
It's like you're counting pennies instead of counting quarters, and it makes people think that you're just being cheap. They don't realize that you have such an endeavor. It's okay. Ignore that shit. Its most positive light in the Four of Pentacles describes a person who's being careful. They know what they have because they keep an eye on every detail. You may be good at bookkeeping or accounting for yourself, but such close control over your spending is not admirable. So you might be able to work at the bank. And I don't know that's the 3rd time the bank came up. Is that where you buy your weed? The dank bank?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bank keeps coming up. It's the 2nd card that said something about money and banking. It says you would be fine keeping that drawer straight, but you can't keep your own wallet straight. Save your fucking life. Can't find a receipt. When there's a
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Sounds about right.
I like to read for I know that we talk and stuff, but I don't really know you. So to have this stuff be so spot on, it always confirms for me that this is just what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I don't know. I've never felt worthy of just doing my own thing and just having fun. I started playing the piano for a living.
Right.
After I stopped doing drugs, I went to rehab. I've relapsed. I've had all that shit, but I started playing the piano with a love and a passion when I couldn't, and I was in there.
Right.
And all the time I was in the hospital. This last year, I've gone from The kid's decent at piano. He sounds good. He can play all the notes very nicely to improv gospel, and they're like, "Is he white? He's not white."
Right.
And I'm loving it. And
Right.
I'm not saying that as a joke, and it's not a racial anything. I love Southern gospel. I love stride. I love all of that
Right.
old bum bum bum
All
bum.
right. The
All
old
the
soul.
fancy fingers. Like you walk into a bar and there's strippers, not strippers, the old prostitutes with the poofy dresses,
Oh
Wild West
yeah.
style.
Yeah.
You got the guy, but that's what I love.
Right.
I saw it the first time at Disney. I walked in there as a ragtime pianist, and he was playing Scott Joplin, the Maple Leaf
Oh,
Rag.
that's awesome.
And I learned it when I got home. I can't play it anywhere near as fast as that man played it, and it was just fucking awesome.
Right.
This card depicts that your question was about romantic partners or partners in the sense of business, but you know what I'm talking about. It comes with a word of warning. So you said there were 3 people at play here. Here's your warning. Where the fuck just was I? Oh, yeah, word of warning. Someone described by this card, which is you, you're the person described by the card, could be a romantic partner, and it comes with a, a difference in how you view your property. You don't see things the same way, but they might become possessive of what they consider to be theirs. This is the property, I think. As well as being reluctant to share their own time and money, this person may try to control everything you do. Your schedule, your relationships, your individuality. They're telling you to color your hair, shit like that. Or telling you do this, don't do this. The love and affection that could become really nice for you because you long for that um, could become their power over you. And it becomes stifling. It's so hot, there's no air in the room. And one might end up feeling like just another one of this person's possessions. Not you. You're feeling that way.
Right.
Someone's possessions. That's your fear.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
You're afraid. You do?
Yeah, I
Good.
do.
Keep that up. Okay, so
Okay.
now we have our friends. We're going to move him over here. We have the 4 of Wands. So there's your 4 again, 11, 11. You can flip that next card. Just flip it left to right, not top to bottom.
What do you mean?
Like, just flip it right
This
over.
way?
Yep, perfect. Oh, that is going to be the 6 of Cups. Cups are emotions, communication, human interaction. You can flip the next one same way. And this is also the Joshua tree or the tree of life. It's the light and the dark in balance.
Oh.
Now you have, what number's at the top?
Oh, I can't see it.
Is it VIII or VII?
VIII.
Okay, so that's 8. That's 2 4s. 11, 11, 4,
Here.
8. So, and then you got 4, 6, and 8. So do you notice how 2 of those suits are wands? Or I'm sorry, they're all different suits. I don't know where the fuck I was going. You have the coins, you have the cups on the 6, and then in the middle here you have the 4 wands. What do those 4 wands look like they make if you look at the outer image? What does that look like?
An eye.
It's an eye, right? And what are those wands? They're stabbed right into the eye, right? This person causes a lot of stress and struggle. Wands are the ability to manipulate the world around you in a good way or a bad way. They are free will, logical thinking. These are the sorcerer's spells, right? The next one is the second person in this 3 people that you wanted to talk about. They are the 6 of Cups. Cups are emotion. They're your sixth sense. This particular card reflects the duality of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the light versus the dark. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The root system is an exact mirror of the tree, which reminds us that we are made of what we've lived. You can't change the roots. You can only decide if you're going to hold on to leaves that don't serve you anymore when it's time for change in the fall, or if you're going to try to hold on like the evergreen tree and keep living that same cycle over and over. But when you live the same cycle over and over and expect a better outcome tomorrow, tomorrow becomes yesterday, and next week becomes 4 weeks ago. You never get out of it like Groundhog's Day.
My tattoo on my back means light and dark. Like
Light and
there's
dark.
the dark side,
Well, it's
the
yin and yang.
pain, and the
Yeah.
good.
It's all of it. It's yin and yang. Then you have more pentacles. So this third person. So remember, these are all you, and then there was 3 other people.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Which is again 4, right? So
Right.
1, 1, 1, 1. So we read about Amy. Now we have these 2 guys. We've got the stick in the eye. We're gonna read his card meaning in just a second, and it'll be brief. But then I love that duality card. I call this the dichotomy of 2 dualities. You have light and dark, but you have everything in balance. The cool part about a 6 on a dice or a domino or whatever, it makes a 6, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it also, if you separate it in the middle, can make 2 4s, right? 4, 4.
Right.
It's not an 8 card, but you got 4, 4.
Right.
Do you see that?
Yes, I
Because
do.
it's balance, light and dark.
This also kind of reminds me of. This might sound morbid, but when I die, I want to be a tree.
Yeah.
You know what I
Don't be
mean?
so morbid. Trees live forever.
Right.
In our mind.
They have a way of like making your body and planting a
I've seen it.
tree in with it.
It's an urn.
Yeah.
You come in a disposable urn and they
Yeah.
bury it and the tree comes out. Or you can get a tree displaced. So the last one also is 2 4s. That's your 8. You've got the 8 of Pentacles. Which one do you want to start with? The 8 of Pentacles, that's worldly possession. And it doesn't matter where you're at and deciding who's who yet. We're going to read about them.
We'll go right in line.
Right in line. Okay,
Yes.
So we got the 4 of Wands. I just want to mark the 8 of Pentacles so it doesn't take me 2 hours to get there. Let me see that 8 Pentacles. Okay. Then we have the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. Okay. 6 of Cups. I don't know why, but I want to sing this song. You do the best you can with what you got. The best you can with what you got. Don't worry about dreaming and scheming about what is not. You don't. Don't worry about what you don't have. Focus on what you have. I love you.
I love you, babe. You're awesome.
Oh, I'm fucking crazy. I'm over here doing the whirly bird. I love it though. The universe is an amazing thing. They make humans ignore our instincts. I had a real problem with people when I was young because I had a shitty situation happen to me that stayed with me for life and still impacts me sometimes. But I had to learn to do the best I could, and eventually my best got better and better and better and better. And you got to show up for yourself, though. You got to show up for yourself. And it feels selfish to someone who's only ever just done what's best for everybody, who leaves the last cup of milk because someone else might need it more than they do, and then ends up starving to death. Like,
right.
we cut our nose off to feed our family, but it really spites our face.
Yeah, it does.
Right, so who are we serving? This is the person who is cheerful, except he's the stick in the eye. So he's canceling plans. He's upside down. Canceling plans. He makes you feel burnt, like you're burning out. Like you have this flame about you. And it's funny, we said we were twin flamers earlier. You have this flame about you that is beautiful and it shines through every crack in your soul. But this person makes you feel like the lights are going out.
You know, that's you want to hear something funny. When this card, I already decided what guy you were talking about, and he's a water sign. Which water sign puts out the flame?
Water sign dissolves the flame. It's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have gotten there maybe after like a couple days of thinking about that, but that's beautiful that comes out to you. The center of that card is water. This is symbolized to be the globe. That's why it has all the north points and the south, like the directional latitude, longitude.
That's awesome.
This is the whole world. He sees the whole world, but he can't see it clearly because there's 4 influences that have changed his sight. In the center is that blue. That's your emotion. That's your water sign. And look at what it's doing, Amy. If this was a fire and the water's coming over the top, what's it doing to those flames?
Putting them out.
It's putting them out. This card, that's really strange. I haven't had a reading like this in a long time. I mean, I have them frequently, but not with someone I really haven't ever
Connect with.
sat with. Yeah, it's nice to connect. So we've got the wand. We've got the stick in your eye. He is number 4. So he may be the one that you see as the winner, I'll say. But because he's got that maladaptive sight and all that hidden emotion, there's hidden emotion with him. Deep hidden
Oh my
emotion.
gosh.
He's the 6 card, or the 4 card.
Right.
It's telling you it's a beautiful in your eyes, but it's not how you see it. Upside down. Almost as strong as the magician. I'm not who I say I am. My hands are doing something different than my words. The 4 of Wands is a card that you're right near completion when it's upside down with this person, but you're never going to be able to harvest the plants before the snow comes. They're always making you wait till the last fucking minute. The harvest might be plentiful, but what happens after the first frost? Everything dies. Death is not bad here because it could be the start of a new cycle. Do you have enough time to put in to wait for that cycle to start with this person, or is it not worth the investment?
I don't think
You
it's
don't
worth
have
it.
Just for you.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could be guiding me.
Okay, I won't.
And I don't want anybody to
Okay.
say I don't know. You know,
Okay.
I'm cheating.
You're not
There's
cheating.
an upcoming event, and it marks the occasion of a party. Maybe a wedding or graduation. There's a celebration, and it's not necessarily family, but it's friends. It's chosen family. So it could be family mixed with friends. It could be just a different group of friends. But these people are safe. Enjoy yourself. The people that you put most into are not the ones who love you the most. Reevaluate your energy. This could be a very exciting and prosperous time if you get your hands up from under your ass. Get your ego out of your own way. Not the ego that says I'm pretty, I'm the best, I'm hot, I have more money. The ego that says I am not enough. Because that's the dangerous one.
Right.
4 of Wands says an occasion of celebratory or marked effort. People coming together. This is a celebration. The bounty is there. The grapes are there, but they're not ripe. Something's missing. We're missing something. Do you feel as though you've accomplished enough to take a break? Or do you not feel like you're even worthy of a day off? Do you have an event that you need to plan, but you can't get it? Is the event canceled? You're starting to feel burnt out. So how do you find security and contentment on your own? Can you think of a time when organizing some type of social party proved far more trouble than it was worth? Because after a period of hard work, Amy, something didn't turn out as you had hoped. But you're out of the fire. You're away from the battles, maybe 4 battles, maybe 1-1 battles. I don't know. It could be either. I know that your number came through like a ton of times. To me, it says you crave stability, you crave social interaction, and you just want a fucking day off. But nobody's showing up for you. You get a canceled plan, and it's starting to really fucking burn your ass, and you're getting burnt out. You even start to plan your escape. But right now, it's not working out as you hoped. That's okay. You are tenacity, and you will hold on for another day. You're not going anywhere, bitch. Only the good die young. You're going to be like 700. All right, so now we got the 6 of Cups. This hoe. This is the second person. So this person acts like they're innocent, almost like a child. They're described by the 6 of Cups because they're childlike, not in a way that is annoying, but they're full of wonder. This person has an imagination that is a fucking hoot. They tell a good story. They are very comfortable pretending that the world has no sharp edges and being optimistic. They're a dreamer. They're they can pull you up from your bootstraps sometimes. They're great people to be around. It's very refreshing, but they can also pull literally the clutch out of your car when they need it because they have their own strain and stress. They drop the fucking cards and run. They're like, nope. They push you down when you're running from the wolves and let you get eaten first so their fat ass can get away. And I'm not saying that's a fat person, but you know what I mean? Just that
Yep.
selfish, self serving. Oh, there's a shark. Or the police just pulled up. That's all hers, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all his. You know,
Right.
you're whatever. Any
Right.
person can do that to you. It's betrayal.
Right.
Betrayal's a motherfucker. And kids do that to each other without cost. Because kids forget by the end of the day. They're not going home together. They're not married. You know, in school, fuck you, Adeline. The next day they're like, hey, Adeline, you want to have lunch?
All
That's how
right.
kids are. They still hope that even if they have a bad experience, if they try again, that it'll be better.
Right.
Because humans are dumb. We keep going back to the flame until our hands are fucking blistered and we can't pick it up because we get burned 1 or 2 times and then someone says it's hot. You think, oh, I'm a sentient being. I'm supposed to be king of the fucking universe. I still burn my fucking hand all the time and I run back to the flames to put out a fire. Even if the person in the fire is somebody that I love and serve and they start the fire themselves and close the door behind them and go, nope, I know you see smoke. There's nothing in there. Stand in the way of actually trying to help them. And all you're trying to do is not help yourself, but help them. And they hide it from you. Because sometimes they do it because they think you're overwhelmed or you can't handle it.
Right.
But what it makes you feel is fucking pissed because it makes you feel small. And that's the hardest place for you to be. But don't be afraid of feeling small because the childhood you ran and ran and ran. But now she's grown enough to take care of herself so she can go back and play. She can go back and play. This person says that this card describes someone whose age may have a different picture than their imaginative personalities. And right now they've been very open to new experience. This is a challenging situation because this card can also describe those who don't want to grow up Peter Pan. I won't grow up, right? But this is also a person who has trouble taking responsibility. To those who continually live through past experiences, remember this is a person, not you. To a person who lived through past experiences, while it's healthy to reflect and throw caution to the wind sometimes, because Amy, you're a master of your craft, so you can literally take a leap of faith anytime and sew up a fucking safety net on the way down. You're not afraid. But it takes you so long to get up there to jump that sometimes you can't even find your needle and thread or whatever you want to call it, your yarn, to make that safety net. You forget, and the ground starts getting pretty fucking close.
Right.
Doesn't scare you, but take time to reflect before. I mean, you do naturally. You take the time to get up on that cliff before you jump off of it, and you look at all the options. But some things, when you're up there, won't look like there's anything that you could advise somebody to do. Like, no good idea, right? It's healthy to reflect on that, but not if the amount of time it takes is too much. If the tower's fallen down, take a step back. Don't wait until you get hit in the head. Okay? This person is naive, childish. They definitely had a lot of tantrums and traumas in their life. But they live in the past. They are still in the house that built them in their heart. This is a blast from the past. This is reminiscent of
Oh my
something you've already
gosh.
known. And it's
That is so funny.
you'll have to fill me in after, but
Okay.
that just gave me cold chills too. Yeah, there's some things in the past that we need to cut out, and there's some things that make us delve into a prior self where we were a little bit stronger. Don't mistake the energy you get from feeling that connection of stronger with this is the best. I'm not
Right.
saying they're the worst, because this is the balance of light and dark, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But I don't know, his underside looks a little bit more attractive than his upper side, and I'm not saying his dick. I'm saying his soul is way prettier than his face.
He has a very nice soul, that's for sure.
I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm just saying it has more to it. You
Right.
have a soul that is deep and it's colorful, which means there's been lots of different types of experiences, lots of traumas, lots of growth, lots of new excitement. They're a big kid, but they remind you to take shit less seriously. And there's a moment where playful and spontaneous become fun to you. Don't let your fear of something you don't know make you miss out on that. What's the danger of living in the past? That's a shitty one right there. From who or what? Or anything from your personal past? Can it help shed some light on something you're worrying about today? Something from your past. Could it help you um, cut the ties that bind you and turn them into a safety net with this person? I can't say yes or no because it's not, I don't even know who we're talking about and I don't need to. But I will say there's a lot of problems with their self. They have some shit going on. But that soul, those are roots, babe, and that's the kind of stuff that I needed after I left, and I felt like I had stayed gone for too long because I came back after Josh died. I lost all those years with him. He came down to Florida all the time. Josh's soul and his hands matched. My brother did everything for everybody, but Josh started to hurt in his soul because people didn't treat him always the way he should have been. And when my brother was mad, he'd fucking pick it off the fence and go beat somebody and come back with it covered in blood and tell you to burn it.
Right.
But he loved so hard that when he let somebody in and they hurt him, it was like you could feel it. It was like your chest going tight, like you know you're gonna die right now. Like that fear you get like when a fucking wild animal growls at you and you can't even scream because you're so nervous and you just go like that,
Right.
That's
Definitely.
how bad Josh hurt when people hurt him.
Wow.
His soul was so tender. That's why
Right.
he was a dick to most people, because if he got close to you, he could feel every inch of pain, every cell. So our third guy, sorry, I got on a tangent there. We got
Oh my
number
goodness, you're
8
giving me
of
chills.
Pentacles. Number 8 of Pentacles. In the situation, he comes in to show that you are studying something. Remember the apprentice card? The
Yeah.
apprentice card?
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
telling you to pay
gosh.
attention. Pay attention because you have something to learn that you're not seeing.
Okay.
So in like a rider weight deck, you would have somebody sitting at a like a blacksmith guild repairing their coins so that they were all the shiniest coins ever. You're trying to rebuild your world in the world of possessions, tangible goods you can touch with your hands. This is the card that reminds you that these are new skills. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you haven't done this before, you will cut your fucking hand off. You need to be careful. It suggests
Yep.
that you need to be persistent in your effort, but your willingness to perfect things or practice are not there. You want to just get it done today. You're doing it right, but it takes you a little longer because you got to redo some stuff because we didn't know about this and we didn't know about that. And then there's a permit. Who fucking said we needed a permit? But the more you work at something, the better you become at it. So when you have to keep starting over in life, you already have a map now.
Right.
You're not starting over. You're starting at the top of the hill and you can coast. It's all right. When the tower comes down, use the stones and rebuild it, but don't fucking build it over a shitty foundation like it was last time. Do not. It'll only hurt you.
Definitely.
The only place we can self-serve is in our soul. I believe. I always keep time for myself every day. My bath, I'll take a 2-hour bath if I haven't done anything for myself today. And it's not that I'm even in the bath the whole time. It's 2 hours that I'm not answering to anybody else. Because
Yep.
I will for 20 of the other hours.
You have to give to back to yourself in order to
Right.
give
You
to
can't pour
others.
from an empty cup.
No.
And you can't spend your time working on your world when the world is happening around you. So you have to balance that. Remember, you're the student. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to get shit wrong. It's not okay to cover it and say, it's not my fault.
Right.
The student also runs and tells on people. Don't blame everybody else. But also, don't take on all of their blame. Everything's a double-edged sword, right? The Eight of Pentacles in the House of Romance, it says that you should put more effort into this person if they seem like they're appropriate for you, because um, you get complacent with this one. It seems too easy. So you're like, fuck it. I'm not going to do my hair. Fuck it. I'm late. It doesn't matter. It makes them feel like you don't value their time. And this makes them work hard to become a better partner, but it suggests that it's a dual side. So it's half and half, right? So you have to work hard too. You don't know if it's worth the extra work, so you're a little standoffish. But what can you do to make yourself a better partner so that people will know how to love you better? Set boundaries. Set boundaries. This person has a problem with boundaries. They're the ones that show up somewhere they're not even invited to just to say hi, and they were just in the neighborhood. Okay? Not saying stalker. I'm saying that you have a personal skill here, and this person well, you're the apprentice, so you're learning. This person has a skill that you might think they've mastered, and you want to learn it from them. Maybe that's the language of love, maybe that's whatever. But it asks you, what is your skill level here? What the fuck are you doing? Are you being lazy? Are you doing uncommitted and shitty workmanship? And that's our friend here. Or are you being the hard worker, practicing your skill, and training the apprentice? This could be a little bit on the dark side too, where you have somebody who wants control. This person may want control, financial, housing, any of the houses, but it's not your normal. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It may mean that he wants you to not have to worry about it. But I sense that it's probably a little more on the other side, because your card today was 1111, which we said 4, and now this is card number 8. There's only room for 4 with you. So if he's got 8 and you've got 4, that's not going to work. 4 and 4 work great. 6 and 6 and 6. I get worried about 6 and 6, but because it makes 69 if you turn one upside down. Maybe that's a good thing. But you did get one of them that was a 4 too, and that was the all-seeing eye. That's card number 4, and your last card was card number 4. So it could be 4 and 4 makes his 8. He's the third wheel. He's the third wheel. The personality of this person is not necessarily annoying, but they're willing to start at the bottom and wait. They're waiting, but once they get you in, they know that you're the apprentice, and they start already getting involved in studies and training that will help them move up in the rank of power and not you. They will display characteristics in their personal life that are a little weird. This is someone who is self-sufficient, but they're wanting to know how things work in your house, and somehow it solves a problem for themselves rather than relying on their own hands or someone else. It kind of makes you feel like they depend on you, and that's kind of a good feeling for mom, right? My nest is getting empty. I'm healing my heart. I'm moving forward. You have to practice your skills, and that's the skills with people. This person is lazy. They're doing shoddy work. They're not committed to anything, and they may be able to say they're committed and believe that, but they don't even know how to pick up a garbage bag and say, this is mine. You're not a bag. Have you mastered your personal skill, or what are you neglecting today? What are you neglecting because it's terrifying you? And it could be neglecting to see something with him that you know now that you didn't in the beginning, and you're trying to look away. Do not turn red flags orange and say you're colorblind. Do
Okay.
not.
Can we have another timeout?
Yes, we can.